So I'm going to record some examples of the even problems in your assignment. You're going to be doing the odds. So let's just start with number 6. It gives you the equation y is equal to 3 minus 2x. And the question is, what is the slope? So you have to remember y equals mx plus b gives you the slope by the x, and the b is the y-intercept. Therefore, the slope is -2. Okay, so this unit, this section, is a review of some pretty basic lines. Number 10 gives you the equations y equals -2/3 x plus 1 and y equals 2 minus 2x over 3. And we're supposed to tell whether they are parallel, perpendicular, or neither.
Parallel.
Exactly, because we have a -2/3 slope there, a -2/3 slope there, so they are parallel. So what if I had -4/5 x minus 3, and I needed to write an equation that was perpendicular to it? What would its slope be?
5/4.
Exactly. Y equals 5/4 x, and then it could be anything, -8. So positive 5/4 and -4/5. Perpendicular lines have opposite, meaning opposite signs. One's positive and one's negative. Opposite does not mean reciprocal. Students use that word wrong, okay? So this is negative, this is positive. That's what makes them opposite. And then reciprocal is what flips them over. This is 4/5, this is 5/4. Perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes. Okay, number 14 gives you the ordered pair -2, 4, and 5, +1, and says find the slope. So the slope is what formula? Anybody remember off the top of
x2
the...
over x minus x1 over y2 minus y1.
Close, but not correct. What did he do wrong? He said x2 minus x1 over y2. Gotta switch them. The y's go on top. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, because slope is rise over run, so you want your y's on top and your x's on the bottom. So this particular one is going to be 1 minus 4 on top and 5 minus a -2. So 5 plus 2 on the bottom. 1 minus 4 is -3. 5 plus 2 is 7. The slope is -3/7. Huh? Oh, not a question? Okay. If I tell you to graph a line like number 26, if I say y is equal to -3/2 x plus 4, and we want to graph it, what do we do? How do we start?
4.
Exactly. On the x-axis or the y-axis?
Y-axis.
Good job. So I go to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I draw a dot. What do I do with the -3/2?
Well, you have to go down to the right 2.
Exactly. So from that point, you go down 3, 1, 2, 3, to the right 2, approximately there. Draw your line. Remember that negative lines go down as I go to the right. Positive lines would go up as I go to the right. So when you go to do these slopes, you could go down and then to the right. You could go up and to the left. Just however you can go to make that negative line. Okay? The next one, let's do, if we were gonna graph something that was difficult to do with slope, like let's say whoops, I don't want y equals. I want something like 20x plus 13y is equal to 128. Let's say you had some equation like that. The easiest way to graph something like that, like you could rearrange it for y, and you'd have a -20/13 slope. Well, that would be a mess to try to do by hand. But you can estimate it with intercepts, okay? So to graph it using intercepts, You're going to plug 0 in for x and solve for y, plug 0 in for y, solve for x. So you're going to get decimals here. You're going to take 128 divided by 20, because if y is 0, then the x is going to be 128 divided by 20, which is 6.4. If I plug 0 in for x, your equation becomes 13y equals 128. So 128 divided by 13 is 9.8 approximately. And so if you go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, you can estimate the shape of this graph. So y is 9.8 and x is 6.4. It would be about like that. So x and y intercepts are a really good way to graph a function when it's written like this, especially when you're dealing with large numbers that you don't want to try to figure out exactly what this intercept is and count down 20 and over 13. Okay?